yesterday, Chris. Actually, it's my water tank that I need to fill up. Right, hello driver, you're in charge of a service on a return trip to Lymington Pier. Set up your train and prepare for departure. Please note that on the return journey, signal Bravo Hotel 16 may be showing a red aspect and cannot be tabbed for approval. You will need to stop until it clears. That would be my assumption anyway, to be fair. I don't like to just randomly tab. Brockenhurst! Going to Lymington Town, Lymington Pier, back to Lymington Town, and back to Brockenhurst. Excellent. CGW are naming a train after Captain Tom Moore. Yeah. Although, surely it should be Colonel Tom Moore now. Yeah, I like this 41 as well. My favourite 41, for reasons of supreme bias, is the Southern 4-sig. I didn't make the train. I didn't make the livery, but I did set the train up and write the scenarios and release the pack. So, a bit biased on that one. Oh, double Crompton light. I've chipped into all sorts of different DLCs, Dan DeMan. I did all the signalling on New York, New Haven. I did a lot of assembly stuff on Western Lines of Scotland. Whoa! Inaccurate Marksman, thank you very, very much for that donation. That's stunning. Beyond stunning. Very much appreciated. And then Captain Jenks tops up with and the rest of what I wanted to give, plus another £5 as I couldn't do £1.20 since I'm not mean. You're far from mean, Captain Jenks. Thank you very much. And a pair of you, very, very much appreciated. That brings us up to £580 and 6 pence, because those 6 pence are important too. That's amazing. Thank you very, very much. Yeah, thank you for the scenario as well, Captain Jenks. Whistly whistle. What other stuff did I work on in TS1? I can't remember half of it. And a lot of it is just little chips and bits here. So yeah, a lot of third-party projects I chipped into. Western Lines of Scotland, I did quite a lot of work on that. What else? West Coast Mainline North I did a bit, not a lot. What else? I actually can't remember, to be honest. Oh, you know the Norfolk Southern Heritage Collection? I wrote all of the scripting for those locos and set it up so that they would work with the flashing ditch lights properly, and then they would do the flashing ditch lights so that if they coupled up, they flash the correct lights on the front or the back and so forth. So I did all the scripting for that. Game of Gnomes, I wrote the scripting for all the gameplay side of that. I didn't write the scenarios, but I wrote the gameplay scripting to support them. So things like having the gnomes that disappear and do the smoke things and fun stuff like that. That stuff was then also used, in fact I think it was initially used in Counter Monster Disco. I originally wrote the stuff for Counter Monster Disco and then we reused it again in Game of Gnomes. So I helped out Skyhook with that one first. That's good fun actually. Trying to create more traditional gameplay visual elements out of the train sim using lower scripting was good fun. 45. Lymington town in 3.5 miles. This is a Portsmouth direct line, if I remember right. The last thing I've worked on for TS1. Oh no, that's a long time ago. Long time ago now, Dan man. The first thing I released third party was the BR143 from Virtual Railroads. I think the first add-on pack, dovetail add-on that I worked on was the 4SIG, the Southern 4SIG. Which we launched at the same time as Done It Right. The most recent, I haven't a clue. Haven't a clue. But it wouldn't be recent, it would be quite old. But heads down, focused on TSW. Drop it to 50. So that is entrance. Oh, an accurate marksman. Sorry, I missed your resub. Thank you very much. 21 months. Happy to support our frontline health workers. Good luck with the weekend charity stream. Thank you very much indeed, anonymous donator. Very much appreciated. I saw a platform coming up there and my heart hit the floor. Cheers, Straight Spotter. Thank you very much for the follow. What did I work on with Western Lines of Scotland? So obviously Keith made the brew, and basically I helped Keith by putting the stock pack together. I worked with a combination of coordinating with other people. So there was a guy from UK Train Sim that made the Black 5 liveries. Someone made the wagons, a couple of the wagon liveries. I got the help. Did a deal with Digital Traction. They made a brake van for the back, and which Keith then made a scenario pack, some scenarios for Digital Traction's 2MT. There was Mesh Tools provided the snowplow on the front, which was built for that Black 5, very gratefully. And Ed Fisk of Mesh Tools also did a new sound set for the Black 5 as well. So I took all of those individual bits and assembled them together into the pack, applied, and then we got some other people. I did some work on the steam physics side of it, and somebody else did some work on the steam physics side of it as well. Jonathan did work on that. So it's combining all that stuff together. And then I set up all the quick drive stuff. I was going to do scenarios, but I ran out of time, so Keith did scenarios, and I think we're all better off for that because he did a brilliant job on the scenarios. And then I created weather patterns and then applied the dynamic weather patterns to some of the stuff as well. So like I think air to strand rail scenarios got a really, I think, really interesting different weather pattern. The weather changes quite hugely throughout, which is really interesting. But no, the West Nines of Scotland was a true community project. Obviously, Keith did a huge amount of work and is a hero for what he managed to create there. But there were a lot of people involved in that project. And yeah, all their assistance was very, very gratefully appreciated. And that's why you end up with a project that I mean, West Nines of Scotland, I'm so proud of. I think that everybody did such a good job on that. And West Coast Mainline North wasn't much different, to be honest. There was a lot of people coordinating and providing different components for that one as well. Although I did less on West Coast Mainline North. Again, I was there from a coordination perspective, but I don't think I did any actual content work on West Coast Mainline North. "20 limit as we approach the pier." Who's responsible for the ever-returning light aircraft on the route? I think anything scenery-wise and rail and route-wise is going to be key. Sorry, I'm not thinking of West Coast Mainline North. West Coast Mainline over is Shat, not West Coast Mainline North. West Coast Mainline North is another Keith one, I think. But West Coast Mainline Shat is the one I'm thinking of, actually, was the other one. I think I missed a donation. Let's check out. I'll scroll it back in a minute. It's like a car horn on this thing. Honk, honk. This has got fantastic visibility on this platform, hasn't it? Let me see what I've missed. No, I didn't miss anything. You don't want to Nebworth this station, totally. How about butchers around the harbour? Absolutely. Oh, wow. Let's take our drone and go and have a fly. Steven Spielberg's got his yacht over in the harbour. Okay, I'm going to admit it, I'm confused. Another dream, another Big one. There's another big one back here as well. Dave, I am running Clinchfield, I think today and tomorrow. I'm not sure what Keith's plans are at the moment, Daytona. I know he has done stuff in the background for other developers. Oh, I think it's my laptop which is going bubble, bubble. I'll shut my laptop down. Whatever happened to Master Key Simulations? I haven't got a clue. I only found out myself that they weren't doing TS1 stuff anymore. Just recently. I have no idea what the story is there. None at all. Master Key Sims have helped. If I remember rightly, the 47 came... Oh, the initial build of the 47 came from them, that we then continued making the model for what we wanted for West Somerset Railway. Was the SIG made from converted coaches? I don't know. I don't think so. But probably using a lot of the same manufacturing process. £600. Been going 2 hours. It's amazing. Thank you very much, everybody. Daytona, if you want to post a link, you need to get a moderator to give you a permit first so that it'll let it post, otherwise Moobot gets all excitable about links. Last year you was with your son in South London. We went on the Croydon tram and runs most of the line up to Wimbledon. I must admit I've not done the Croydon tram yet. Back to Lymington. Right, on our way back to Brockenhurst. Just some context, if that's PDL, this is the Lymington branch now. I'm enjoying it as well, actually, the solution. Welcome back. It's not part of the PDL, it's east of Bournemouth on Southampton, Bournemouth. Okay. From Ben, Colin and Claire, thank you very much indeed for that donation. Very much appreciated. That brings us to £630.06. Much appreciated. Black 5 on Wreckfest. Why would I want to damage a Black 5? I just imagine some people would like to say, take a pacer on Wreckfest. I don't know if I play third-party stuff on Austrian. Backdated train sim as an amazing Croydon to Wimbledon route set in 1997. Oh, interesting. Should open the doors, really. I don't generally play a lot when I'm not on stream. Generally, when I've got a train sim up, it's probably Train Sim World, and I'm probably testing stuff. Chris, like I said, a message to you. The out of memory message in TS 2020 doesn't usually mean actually it's out of memory. It's just that the generic something bad has happened has been changed to out of memory for some reason. So your problem may not be out of memory. Your problem might be some other issue. In fact, from the sound of it, it probably is some other corruption or something. If I was to take a train to take on Wreckfest, what would it be? Some modern plastic junk. Depends whether I want to win and whether I want to destroy the train. And yeah, Gronk is completely indestructible. Yeah, whereas modern plastic junk won't last. Yeah, they're probably invalid pointers, Rumpel. Normally null pointers. But I don't know what actually causes that. That doesn't really help you figure it out, to be honest, knowing that. Jules watching playing train station renovation. She's good at tidying up. She's been trying to train you. I think she's probably given up. Has anyone else picked up train station renovation? At some point I'm going to pick that one up and take a look at it. I like the idea. House slipper for trains. Speed limit up to 60. Oh, it's released early access, is it? Oh, nice, Chris. Tell you one thing, just as a general recommendation for anybody who is working at home on your PC, don't forget to do a display screen equipment self-assessment. Sounds like one of those boring things that the HR team makes you do. It's actually there for your health and safety. I hadn't done one on myself for a while, and I re-looked because my legs were hurting like hell. And I couldn't figure out what was wrong, because I normally sit here fine, but then it dawned on me I sit here for a lot longer now than I have previously. So I just mentally went through the various steps of a DSE just to see how I sat down. And my chair was, in order to keep my eyes level with the top of the monitor, my chair has to be sufficiently high because the monitors are up a bit and my feet aren't touching the ground. And so my legs were hanging all day, which is a bad thing. So I went and bought a footrest and suddenly everything is good with the world again. So yeah, just a little thing. Do yourself a quick, it's dead easy to do a quick assessment of, are my arms straight? Am I looking straight? Am I looking at the monitor up or down to the monitor? Am I, how are my joints? Are they straight, comfortable and unstressed? All that stuff. It's dead easy to do that check, and it's well worth doing. Yeah, my chair's fairly well at max height, but what you need to do is just make sure that your legs are, your heel should touch the floor comfortably while you're sitting. Otherwise you're putting stress on your knees. I mean, I'm not short, but my monitors are a bit higher because I needed them off my desk. Which means I have the chair higher than it would normally be for my height. That last signal was yellow, wasn't it? It was. No, I think that all the time. I think that's just natural Dave train. Bad guy, yeah, things you have to do as you get older, yeah. That's just too many baked beans, baked bean kid. Oh, there's a lot of ergonomic design in the way that the coaches are set out, so I imagine the coaches will be fine, Steam Trains Unlimited. It's more that at home, when you've got your computer, it's very, very easy to set up a system which looks like it should be comfortable, but actually is causing a long-term problem, and that's the reason for the DSE self-assessments. It's just to remind you, so to reassess, am I sitting the right way, is my chair at the right height, is my monitor at the right height? When we had more than one guy at work actually, basically has his chair and he just basically works like this. It's really doing his neck a number. It did say you had to wait for the red light, didn't it? Yeah, we're waiting for this one to get out of my way. Oi! Get out of my platform. Do you have to leave it in or out, or allow to swing in your chair? No, I always have the chair locked. I mean, it's got a little bit of float in it, but the chair is locked. Oh, I see. It's a 73. Late being kid. Forget all that rubbish. The only things you should know is do you have iron brew and ice cream is close to hand. Neither, unfortunately. I got some Pepsi raspberry. Michelle76, is there any way to get the incline decline map at the bottom on Train Sim 2020? You mean the one that I've got? I mean, that is what's at the bottom of my screen at the moment. That is the only option. Go. Oh, if you're feeling some pain in the neck, Steam Chains Unlimited is well worth doing. Doesn't take long. I kind of get to the point that now, whenever I sit down almost, I'm just, am I sitting the right way? Am I at the right height? Have my chair been adjusted wrongly? Because the problem is you never know. And the problems are not always obvious. And sometimes it can mistakenly feel more comfortable. Except, and then, you know, 3 hours later when you stand up, you're like, oh, and everything cracks. You raise your monitor so you can use your laptop without obscuring the bottom bit of your monitor. Well, mine naturally does that actually, because I built a shelf to put the 3 monitors on, because they needed a platform to be on, which was above, spreading across 2 desks actually, with the gaming machine sitting in the gap in the middle. So naturally the laptop sits in front and it all works beautifully, and so when I'm doing work stuff, with the laptop screen I've got 4 monitors and it's amazing. I mean, some of everything cracking when you stand up is just because we're getting old now. There's not a lot you can do about it, but certainly you shouldn't be suffering that, you know, a lot of neck pain or wrist pain or elbow pain, or they're all symptoms that you're probably sitting wrong. But yeah, I bought myself a footrest, and yeah, it's made a world of difference. I saw your picture of the XBT that you picked up, Dave Train. I'm looking forward to seeing some pictures of that on the when you've got it actually out. That was a good run. Go and get a cup of tea before your next duty. That's quite nice. I've not actually done that run before, I don't think, in the game, so it's quite interesting. One of the reasons I picked that one. It was recommended. That one's by Sprinter 153333. How are we doing time-wise? Woo, we're still a half an hour ahead of schedule. What is this? So, that means we're switching to a bit of Train Sim World. Right, let's come out of TS.